Dear scholars, through the previous video, you might have understood the explanation of the poem Autumn. Now, through this video, let us see what activities are given in English workshop based on this poem. Here is the first activity. Find three lines each that contain images of nature in the autumn season. So, as the poem Autumn is the description of the beautiful nature in the season of autumn, we came to know that the two stanzas of the poem explaining the beauty seen in the daytime and at night in the season of autumn. So here you have to find three lines that contain images in nature. First, during daytime. So you have to go through the first stanza to find the images or to find the lines which contains the images of nature. Let me give an example. With nodding rice stems in her hair. Next example, and lilies in her face. Next one, in flowers of grasses she is clad. So these are the three lines. For the answer of the question first, which is related to daytime images of the nature. Now what about nighttime? Read the second stanza and find the lines. Here are those. A diadem adorns the night of multitudinous stars. Next, her silken robe is white moonlight. And the next one, and on her face the radiant moon. So these are the lines which contain images of nature at night. Second activity, pick out words from the poem that describe the following. List them in column A. Substitute each of those describing words with another words or phrases of the same meaning. So in the first column, here are the nouns or the noun phrases from this poem. In the next column, there are poetic words or the words or phrases used in the poem to describe the noun phrases or the nouns given in first column. And in the third column, we have to write the meaning of those poetic words in our own words. Let us see how to write. First, the autumn. To describe autumn, here is the phrase a maiden fair. What does it mean that you have to write here? So, what is it? A maiden fair means a beautiful maid or a beautiful girl. Next one, stars. How are the stars in the poem? Right here, that is multitudinous. What is its meaning? Countless. Next one, moonlight. How is the moonlight? White. And what is the actual meaning of it? Silver, right? silver moonlight or silvery. Next one, cooing birds. How are they? A bracelet tinkling. What does it mean? A musical sound or a soft ringing sound. Next one, find one example of each of the following from the poem. First, simile. It is one of the figure of speech. So find the example of simile from the poem. It is given in the last two lines of the first stanza. Birds greet her with their cooing glad, like a bracelet's tinkling song. And you know very well the figure of speech simile the line or the example of simile includes the words like, as, so, and, or like. Next one, metaphor. It is also comparison, but the words so, as, and like are not seen in the line or the example of metaphor. It is the comparison, implicit comparison of two things, two persons, etc. So what is the example? It is there in the first line of the poem. The autumn comes, a maiden fair. Here is one more. And on her face the radiant moon. It is also the example of metaphor. Sorry. Another example, her silken robe is white moonlight. Next activity, which is the fourth one, write the rhyme scheme of the poem. Refer to the language study pages. What does rhyme scheme mean? So, as I already explained through one of the videos, also you can read the definition through the language study pages. What is the rhyme scheme of this poem? So, it is A B A B, C D C D, E F E F, and G H G H. Next one, think and write in your own words. So here each answer requires minimum 3 lines for the answer. First question in it, why is the maiden autumn said to wear rice stems in her hair? So through the poem you came to know that as autumn is the season in which the harvesting of rice is observed. So, accordingly, you need to write the answer. Next, how can the tender maiden autumn become a full grown woman? What change in nature does this imply? So, through the first stanza as well as second stanza, we came to know that how the nature in autumn develops or changes as the season progresses or as the days pass in the autumn season. And one day, the tender, beautiful surrounding becomes fully grown, beautiful nature in that autumn. And what change it imply? What change in nature does it imply? That is, the days of autumn pass, or the season of autumn progress. Next one, Why do you think birds greet the autumn season gladly? Why they welcome? That you have to write. So, as you all know, autumn is the season which give which gives relief from the heat which is observed in the season before. It is the season of comfort, and also there is lot to eat for the birds, especially grains, so that they greet the autumn. Next question or activity. Compare the Indian monsoon season to a powerful king of a prosperous kingdom. It is the comparison of monsoon season with prosperous kingdom. Just like in the poem Autumn, there is comparison of autumn with a maiden fair, a beautiful girl. The same way, you have to compare monsoon season with a king of prosperous kingdom. What is next? Write down a few similarities. What similarity they have? Just like the similarity between the autumn and the maiden fair given in the poem. Such a similarities or such a type of similarities you have to find which are observed between Indian monsoon season and a king of prosperous kingdom. Use them to compose a poem of your own. So, what similarities can be written? So, just like a king of prosperous kingdom looks after the citizens or the subjects in the kingdom, the same way as the Indian monsoon begins, it starts looking after all the people in India, just like the king does justice with all its people, all its subject, the same way Indian monsoon does so. Especially, it is the favorite season of the farmers, or especially farmers wait for this season, right? The same way, if the subjects are thinking, or if subject believe their king, they too wait, they too like to visit their king. So there are many similarities. Think of all those and try to put those similarities in the form of a poem. Next activity. Which is your favorite nature poem from your mother tongue? Write the poem and try to translate it into English. So, first write down as it is in your mother tongue, and later below it or on the next page, write its translation. Your translation can be in the form of a poem or a paraphrase. So, as it is, you can translate into form of poem, or you can translate in as a paraphrase. What is paraphrase? The sentences formed converting the lines in the poem. And the last activity, read the Ode to Autumn by the famous poet John Keats. Here is the beginning. Season of mists and mellow fruitlessness. Sorry, fruitfulness. So, this is all about all the activities given in English workshop based on the poem Autumn. I hope you all will understand the given explanation and accordingly you all will do all the activities given in this English workshop easily.